And I'm Tom.
And we're Hopelessly Lost. You know, you could call this episode all about Ben, which is a real treat for us Jacksonville fans because Michael Emerson in the house, Jacksonville native, right?
Well, not a native, but
long-time
resident.
If he was here long enough, he's a native. In LA, we see him as a history teacher, okay? And he's really frustrated by this vindictive principal.
And if they ever spun that off into its own series, I would watch that.
On the island, he is literally forced to dig his own grave. Wow, irony, huh? When Alana finds out that he indeed killed Jacob. Ben manages to escape with fake Locke's help, but Alana catches up with him and leads to the awesome scene where Ben tearfully tells Alana just how sorry he is for everything he's done. Awesome scene. Probably the best of the season so far.
Probably. Locke says he's going to leave the island. Somebody needs to be in charge. Ben says he's going to join him and do that. And he says he's going to do that because Locke's the only one who will have him. Alana says, I'll have you. So he goes back and joins the survivors.
Meanwhile, back in LA, Ben gives up his play. He's making this play for the principal's job in order to save one of his students, Alex. Yes, Alex, his daughter, his adopted daughter from the island. Ben makes the ultimate sacrifice in LA for letting Alex die on the island. So, two different timelines, but very poetic. He's basically a father to Alex in both timelines. Sweet, huh?
But he's Ben. Can you trust him in any timeline? If there's one thing we've learned, don't trust this guy.
Yeah. But anyway, after that awesome scene between Ben and Alana, my new nickname for Michael Emerson, Michael Emison.
Book it.
You heard it here first.
One thing we learned is that Nikki and Paulo are definitely dead. I had this theory that they're the couple who were buried alive on the island. This island being what it is, being buried alive there, Lord knows what you're going to come back as. They're clearly dead. Miles talked to them. Miles talks to dead people.
Yeah, he knew the diamonds were buried with them. I think the fans killed Nikki and Paulo more than anything else.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Okay, we know what the candidates are candidates for, okay? Alana tells Sun that she's there to protect the candidates. Candidates for what, you might ask? Candidates to take over for Jacob. Okay, so we know that for sure now.
We're still not clear on who they are, but we know that...
We learned that Alana doesn't know, though, whether it's Jin or Sun Quan that she's there to protect, whether it's one, the other, or both.
Okay, we also learned, another big question answered, we know who's coming back to the island. It's Charles Widmore. He might not be alone, but he's on that submarine that's coming back to the island.
Yeah, it's cool to see that little periscope popping up at the end. Questions raised. Is the LA timeline going anywhere?
There's only 9 episodes left. Let's get to the point. It was half the episode was Ben in his school, and I didn't see the point of.
But see, the LA timeline is there to give insight, okay, to these characters. You know, what we're learning is how their lives wouldn't necessarily have been better if they hadn't been on the island, okay? One example, in a scene with Ben and his father, they are sitting there and his father's kind of sad. We learned that they actually were on the island, but they left. And his father says, you know, what could have been if we had stayed on the island? You know, what could you be now? A bloodthirsty killer, maybe? I don't know.
Another big question raised is there was the whole scene with Richard and Jack in the Black Rock, the old slave ship that's on the island. And Richard was looking longingly at these things, and he says, in all the time I've been to the island, this is the first time I've been back. Did Richard arrive on the island originally on that slave ship? Was he a slave? Was he the captain? Don't know. But it's a intriguing point.
Sure is. Okay, we also learn from Alana that she has some kind of special relationship with Jacob. We're not sure exactly what that is, but she says, Jacob is the closest thing I ever had to a father. So, hence, that's why she's really pissed off that Ben killed him.
Then there's the whole thing where Richard says he's been touched by Jacob and he cannot die by his own hand. That raises a lot of interesting questions because a lot of people have been touched. The candidates have all been touched by Jacob. One of them is dead, Locke, and he tried to kill himself, but didn't. So, can the other candidates die at all, or can they not die by their own hand? Which leads to the killer scene in this one was Jack lights the dynamite and he and Richard are sitting there, and
Richard expects him to take off to go running. Jack stays put.
And does that mean that Jack can't die? The dynamite fizzles down right to the end, doesn't go off. Does that mean, is that because Jack can't kill himself? It also made a huge seismic shift in Jack. Jack has always been the I control my own destiny guy, and the man of science versus the man of faith. Jack has now become the man of faith, which is a massive shift for him.
Yeah. In fact, you see him there at the end with the fuse going toward the dynamite, and he actually looks up almost as if he's praying. Lots to think about this week, right?
Get to the point, guys. Come on.
Anyway, that does it for this week. Follow Jack Gax on Twitter, or go to Jack Jacksonville and be a fan. Until next week, we're
Hopelessly Lost.